Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Shamira, aka Mimi, and if you are returning, welcome back. Now, I'm just gonna get right to it, but before we get started, if you know already, I always like to get a little grounded by connecting to the four elements, and that is with the elements of earth, fire, water, and air. So, today for my fire, I'm gonna use my incense, my pink sugar, and I buy these incense at an local black business. And this smell, like I said, is pink sugars. It smells good. Light, sweet, comforting. Um, the guy name is Sadia. I think that's his last name. But yeah, he sells pretty good products. You know, oils, incense, candles, sage, everything you need for, you know, your aromatherapy. Of course, me blowing it, that's my air because I can't find my leaf. My feather. Lonnie kind of misplaced it again. So, yeah, that's my fire. It's getting a little smoky. I did crack a window a little bit. Of course, my water. For my water. And my feature stone today is I don't always know these stones by heart, so I'm gonna, you know, go back to my little reference card. I have a little card that tells me what some of these stones are, and I have a crystal Bible. So, whatever crystal I find that I need in a particular area of my life to help me balance things out, I find that crystal. Um, and I do believe my own personal belief that it does bring me a sense of peace and calmness, and it helps. It assists in a lot of things. So, this particular one is blue aventurine. Now, this is kind of like an indigo color. It's marbled, um, smooth, tumbled, and the main property is to balance your third eye chakra. And a lot of people don't really know what chakras are. I promise I will make a video specifically just on chakras and what it means to balance them out. But this one, it brings clarity. Um, it helps you see beyond the physical eyes. It helps you see beyond delusions, and not only yourself and not only in life, but in other people and other things. It helps you connect back to the truth within you, basically. So, yeah, it helps with open communication. Just it helps you to admit the things to yourself that you're not willing to admit. You know, on a daily basis with yourself. So it definitely helps with denial, self denial mostly. But it helps. For me, it helps. So, and this kind of ties into the topic of the day. But before that, I'm gonna do my breathing exercises. So get comfortable. Sit back, relax, close your eyes. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths in and exhale out. So, okay, ready? Okay, I'm centered, I'm calm. Welcome back. Okay, so The topic of today is basically, are we admitting our darker side of ourselves? That means, when you go through something bad in your life, are we pushing them down, to seem a certain way, to come off a certain way to other people? Or are we actually addressing those problems? For instance, depression and anxiety. Anxiety is like the number one thing. Well, personally for me, it's the number one thing that I've seen in myself and also friends and family. And with anxiety, the anxiety can lead to depression, or vice versa. Um, Anxiety. What is anxiety? To me, most anxiety for me it stems from worry, constant fear of future, of what might happen, what could happen. Um, Trying to prevent that, but knowing that I can't control outcomes. So yeah, it gives me anxiety. This whole pandemic, honestly, it gives me anxiety. I think it gives a lot of people anxiety. The things they used to do, you know, uh, on a conscious level, subconscious level, now it's making you think about it. Like, how long am I washing my hands? If a person coughs, uh, how far is those germs traveling? So, your mind is constantly on overdrive. So you're constantly worried and stressed out. Like, am I gonna catch something every time I leave my house? That is a lot to deal with on a daily basis. People are afraid to go to work. They're afraid to become. They're afraid of intimacy. Not only, I'm not talking about just sexual, but they're afraid of physical contact, any type of physical intimacy. They're afraid. Any normal person, I don't know, I wouldn't say normal person, but anyone who is aware of their surroundings and the dangers of, this world, they're gonna have especially with this whole thing going on, an innate fear of catching something from someone else, becoming ill. Everyone's health isn't up to par. you know of course, some people say, well, it's all about your immune system, but some people have underlying conditions that they can't control. It's out of their control. So they're going to be a little more on edge, a little more anxious when it comes to small things like physical contact right now. But when people go through anxiety and depression, they don't really like discussing it with other people because they look at it like, oh, I know some people like me believe that if I tell someone that I'm going through a certain anxiety, or when I start having panic attacks, that if I tell someone, I don't want them to look at me like a burden. So I don't want to burden them with my problems at the moment. I don't want them to look at me as you know liability, just being around me or having me in their life. And I know that's a terrible thing, a terrible way to look at it, because it's like we're putting ourselves in a bubble, separating ourselves from everyone else, which makes the problem a little worse, because sometimes telling that person what you're going through at the moment you're going through it can help. We don't know what other people are thinking or how they perceive us. So we can't automatically um, assume how they're going to react to our problems or our just we don't know if they're going to feel as uncomfortable as we assume they're going to be. Some people already dealt with the things that we go through, so sharing sometimes can be so therapeutic and so helpful. So if you're going through a bad time in your life, a bad circumstance, and it's causing you severe anxiety, severe depression, tell your friends and your family, because like I said, that little bit of just sometimes getting off of your shoulders, it really helps. It really does. It brings a sort of just comfort, just to feel like you're not alone, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only person. Life is not perfect for anyone. you know of course we all have our good times, and we like to be optimistic about the direction our life is going in, but sometimes we hit roadblocks and we get stuck, we get sad, we get depressed, we get worried, we fear a lot, and it can consume us and drive us to do things that we wouldn't normally do, like self-medicate, drink, turn to recreational drugs, um, reckless behavior, like belts from one person to another, in sexual type of relationships. Um, some people are reckless than others, more reckless than others. And it's basically trying to fill a void, or try to, like I said, self medicate, make yourself feel better about what you're going through instead of delving deep and actually dealing with it. And I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. It's confusing. It's not something. It's not pretty. It's not something that we like to talk about. And like I said, it's uncomfortable. You feel like sometimes you're losing your mind. You're losing your control. You're losing who you are. Um, and you just don't want people to see you, especially not your family and your friends, to see you in a certain light. So we lie to ourselves and we constantly hide behind this mask and put on a happy face and a happy smile to just satisfy everyone else's perception of how they think we should be, how they think we should handle things. So don't put yourself in a secret bubble of hurt and just pain to please everyone else's perception of you. It's okay to admit when you're not feeling your best. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm going through this. I can't handle life. I can't handle situations. I just can't handle it. And when you're not sharing, when you're not, opening up and being vulnerable, or admitting those problems, I'm telling you, you really can drown in your own sorrow. So, and that isn't healthy. And sometimes people get to a point where they believe in their heart, in their mind, in their soul is no other way out of the pain, of the hurt, but just to eliminate themselves from life. And that's really not a comfortable or pleasant place to be, you know? So, if you're going through something, please open up. And if you can't tell family or friends because they might be a little judgmental, some people find it very easy and very, like I said, therapeutic to just get that information, to just vent and let that load off on strangers, because sometimes a stranger can be a little more inviting, a little more understanding than people who know you. So it's yeah, definitely find some way to get that out. You know, we have really bad thoughts, negative thoughts, destructive thoughts, and honestly, that's a part of being human. That's a part of the human mind, the heart, the part of human nature. No one is all good and no one is all bad, no matter what they tell you. Um, like I said, those negative thoughts start to creep in, and bad thoughts, and sometimes people don't like to admit that those thoughts are theirs. It's not the devil. It's not someone else pissing you off. It's just that you're dealing with real human emotions. This is what it means to be human. This is what it means to feel uh, circumstance, to feel and to experience, you know, just bad things. Because if you don't experience the bad, you'll never appreciate the good moments. You never appreciate what it feels to finally, uh, find out what you're made of. You never experience that breakthrough, that real deep breakthrough. So, like I said, no one's perfect. Those thoughts are yours and yours alone. Now, what you do with those thoughts, you can have bad thoughts, but if you're acting on them, like going around hurting people because you're hurt, disrespecting people, killing people because you're hurt, that's like another level of help that you need. You should not be acting on these bad thoughts. It's okay to have the bad thoughts because you're not always going to be in that mode. You're not always going to have that negative mind frame. I don't believe it. I personally don't believe that. Um, but to act on it, that's a no-no. You know, don't do it because I'm part of another part of human nature is regret and guilt and shame. And everyone goes through those stages of grief, of sadness. Like I said, it's part of being human nature. So please don't pretend like it's not happening to you or it doesn't happen to you. It happens. It happens. And it's okay, Just don't act on it. And if you feel yourself becoming impulsive and you're out of control, full of rage and hate, then that's when sometimes you got to sit back, relax, calm yourself down, go inwards and figure out what is causing that severe impulsiveness to act on those bad thoughts. And get yourself some help. Like I said, it's just as easy as just saying it out loud, admitting it to yourself, you know? Now, not everyone is as comfortable as the next person when it comes to expressing their feelings, what's really going on. And it's okay. You shouldn't judge someone on how they cope with life, cope with bad situations. Just because I'm not expressing it to everyone, just because I choose to put on a happy face, I choose to claim the positivity over my negative circumstances. It doesn't paint me or doesn't. I shouldn't be labeled as a fraud or she's fake, she's phony, she's always smiling, she's always happy. I'm not always happy. A lot of people don't see what goes on behind closed doors in another person's life. Just because a person is showing that they're going through something doesn't make them messy. You know, just because a person isn't showing doesn't make them fake. It's all about perception. You hear those people who are attention seekers, and every moment, every waking moment of their life, they're going through something hard, some kind of hardship. And sometimes they create these patterns in their own life to make it seem like they're going through these hardships. And sometimes it's just as easy as just dealing with your mess. Instead, the mess goes on, and it gets worse and it gets worse. And every time when they contact you or tell you something, it's always something negative going on. Those are the attention seekers, because like I said, if you're not doing things to fix those problems and it's constant, then you have to look in, like I said, within yourself. You have to reflect and see, where is all this chaos stemming from. you know you can't blame other people. You have to claim your BS. You have to claim your darkness. You have to claim your messiness, and just deal with it, handle it the best way you know how, but do it in a way where it's not destructive to other people. Don't go around hurting people, killing people because you're going through something and then be like, it's that person's fault, his fault, her fault. No, That's just that's not taking accountability. And you're just going to create more karma and more like negative outcomes. Insanity is honestly is doing the same thing in your life over and over and over again, and expecting different results. You're gonna drive yourself insane. People who do things like that. Um, and like I said, you have other people who choose not to share their emotions, their feelings, their hardships, just because they're not saying it out loud, verbalizing it and sharing it. It doesn't mean they're not going through it. I mean, it's there. They just find a different way to cope with it. They do it either, like I said, self-medicating. Um, they are the negative ways of coping, because even though they're not doing other people harm, they're doing themselves harm. Um, that stuff can kill you. Drugs, being promiscuous out here, having sex with this person, that person. Um, it emotionally and mentally, psychologically, physically damage a person. Um, and when they try to hide behind all of that stuff, that superficial things, um, they hide behind money, other people, bouncing from one relationship to another, not really healing themselves, destroying other people's reality, because your reality is so distorted and so, messed up. You bounce from one person to another, sharing and leaving pieces of yourself with other people. And sometimes, that brief moment can do more damage in another person's life than them being with you for a long period of time. So you really have to understand your darkness and claim it, and not blame everyone else. So yeah. Know who you are, the good parts and the bad parts. Claim it. Because we're not all perfect. So yeah. Don't get too bogged down by it. And don't judge other people, how they cope with things, how they cope with their mess. Just know they're coping with it the best way they know how. And it's just a part of being human. You're human. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fuck up. You're going to say the wrong things. You're going to make people feel uncomfortable. You're going to, you know, not feel so great all the time. So accept it for what it is, because I promise you, once you admit those things and really believe it deep inside, um, your anxiety, your depression will slowly, drift away. I'm not saying that it's a quick fix and you're gonna all of a sudden just be cured of depression, anxiety, because those things are psychological um, problems. So it takes a lot of self-reflection. It takes a lot of meditation and just acceptance. Accept what you cannot change and accept what you can change. Work on what you can change about yourself, about your circumstance, about your environment. You can't change the people, but you can take yourself out, in and out of different environments to help yourself. So just accept the resources that are available to you at that moment, when you're going through what you're going through. Accept the help. If people are giving you help, use your discernment on which help you want to receive. Because everyone isn't really going to help you because they want to help you. They want to help you sometimes to either because they're looking for something in return, or they just want to uh, celebrate your downfall, celebrate your rock bottom in some way to make themselves feel better about the way their life is going. So, like I said, you have to really use your discernment on who you're going to trust with the information about, who you're going to trust with just your circumstances, with sharing who you are deep inside. Because everyone is not worthy of, being a part of that. Everyone isn't worthy of knowing that part of you, that vulnerable part of you. So, yeah, you'll slowly but surely you'll get out of that bad moment. It isn't gonna last forever. So don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. Be passionate with yourself. Have compassion for yourself and for other people. Okay. So, yeah, yeah, things are gonna turn out a little better than what you expect in life. So, don't try to fix everything right then and there because you don't like to feel what you're feeling, and go through what you're going through. You have to go through it, not you can't get over it just like that. You have to feel it, go through it, not around it. So feel what you are feeling. Um, get the help if you can get help. Um, accept what you're going through, and just release it. Don't get too stuck up on it, because I'm telling you, it will make your anxiety, it will make your depression worse than what it is. And it's the first step. Admitting things to yourself, admitting your dark side is the first step to improving it, improving life. Like I said before, my life isn't perfect. Of course, a lot of people see me, oh, I don't really think that she really goes through things that I go through. I might go through a little worse. You'll never know unless I share it with you. But I choose. It's not really a false mask, but I'll choose to cope with it and deal with it at appropriate times. But not every day, every moment, with every person is going to be appropriate to deal with my mess. Every person I meet, I don't have to tell them my sob story. Uh, every moment of my life, I don't have to cry and whine about this not going right, that not going right. I deal with it on my own time. I allow myself a few moments, a few time of the day, a certain time of the day to deal with it. And then I just release it and I let it go. I don't get caught too much up in it because I've been there before. And like I said, it does nothing but make my anxiety. It puts it on 1,000. So I choose not to do it. I choose to smile. I choose to think positive thoughts. I choose to um, focus my energy, my attention somewhere else, and particularly, focusing on other people, helping other people, motivating other people, sharing my positive energy with other people. Because somewhere out there, I know that my circumstance isn't as bad as I think it is. There's someone out there with a worse circumstance than mine. So I'm grateful for that. You know, I'm really grateful that I'm able to do that. So yeah, you guys don't get stuck on the negative. Just try to think happy thoughts. Try to think about the best case scenario, and not only to see things at that moment and your emotions for what it is. Like, stop looking at it like, oh my goodness, I'm hurt. Someone did this to me, someone did that to me. It's not happening to you, but actually happening for you, because sometimes those bad circumstances can propel you somewhere that you never thought you would possibly be, in a good way. You know, break up with someone, because you broke up with that person, you go through, tremendous heartache and pain and suffering, but few years down the road, you meet the love of your life. And if you hadn't broken up with that person and felt that pain, you would have never gotten there. So be grateful for the bad. And I know it's hard when you're actually going through it, but just like appreciate it, because I promise you, it's not going to be like that. So don't sweat it. And if you do sweat it, just Try to just sweat it for only a few moments in the day. Not all day, not every day. Okay, so enough of rambling. I think I went over my mark, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Um, if you like this video, like it, comments, share, subscribe. I really am trying to grow my channel, so definitely, guys, like it and subscribe. And I greatly appreciate it. Excuse me, sorry. So definitely, just let me know if there is anything, um, any taboo topics, any stigmatic stigmatic topics you want to discuss on this channel. And just like I said, leave me a comment and let me know, those topics that people are um, very uncomfortable discussing when it comes to emotions and what it means to be human. So definitely, you guys just let me know. I will love you guys' feedback and you guys' ideas. So like I said, I really do want to do a few lives. If you guys are interested, just let me know. Like it and you know comment. Okay, that's enough. So okay, I'll see you next time, you guys. Bye.